We're at DelFair Lanes for today's BPA King of Bowling. Hello, everyone. I'm Todd Donoho, and I'll be your host of the BPA King of Bowling this year. Good to have bowling back on Channel 5, and we'll have bowling every noon, every Sunday for the next 12 Sundays. Returning from last year, our expert analyst, Dave Newrath. Dave?
Todd, it's great to be back. I think the '84 season will pick up right where it left off here at DelFair Lanes with a bunch of exciting matches. I think we're in for one heck of a good season. We're
going to have a great game in our first game today. We'll have Ed Hamlin versus Lee Estill. Tell us about Ed Hamlin.
Contrasting styles. Ed Hamlin, big, bulky player, overpowers the pins. He's got a super cupped release, nice approach to the foul line. He really likes to throw pins around, gets the ball down nice and early. Good roll.
And Ed Hamlin qualified last week with a 726 series. Also qualifying with a 726 series, Lee Estill.
Lee is probably one of the most lofty players we have out here. Now, what I mean by that is he does not get the ball down short, bypasses the heads, getting the ball well out onto the lane. Good revolution, good position at the foul line. Should have a good match.
And game one coming up next on the BPA King of Bowling. King of Bowling.
BPA King of Bowling. Brought to you by the Beautiful Brewing Company, America's great small brewery.
Ask the boss.
Hey, let's go bowling.
Hey, look at this line for the movie.
Well, what else can we do? Watch TV?
Hey, let's go bowling.
Let's play jet. Oh, we always do that. Hey, let's go bowling. You got it. All over America, people are saying, hey, let's go bowling.
Call your nearest BPA bowling center for open playtime.
Many people would say it's impossible to improve on a Hudie, but we've done just that. With carefully selected grains and special aromatic hops, the result, better flavor and a smoother, richer, more satisfying beer. We call it Hudie Gold. No other beer in America is brewed with more expert personal care. Try the new golden taste of Hudie Gold.
The better beers are beautiful, beautiful.
Here we are, DelFair Lanes, ready for game number one. Ed Hamlin versus Lee Estill. Hamlin will bowl first. And that's the way to start off our 1984 season. A solid strike for Ed Hamlin.
Opening the show with an absolutely perfect shot, Todd.
And he'll face Lee Estill. Lee, a 26-year-old. His average, 192.
Lee throws the ball very well. He's a very studied player.
And he's light.
First frame jitters there, I'm sure. He'd been hitting the pocket with regularity in the warm-ups, Todd. Getting up there just a little too quickly, throwing the ball way wide, leaving the 1, the 2, and the 10. To convert this spare, he has to cross over on the Brooklyn side, just to the left of the head pin, throwing the head pin over into the 10. Let's see if he can do it.
No, he's open in the first frame.
Not quite far enough over to the left. It's tough. First time on TV in quite a while, and you get those first frame jitters when the cameras come up. And now Lee's job is to just settle down and make good shots, and the strikes will come.
So what is he telling himself right now?
Well, right now, hopefully he's just saying, okay, the first frame's over. It's behind me. My job is to just put this ball right in the pocket and see what happens.
And he puts it in the pocket.
Much better shot, Todd. That was perfect.
That'll relax a guy.
It'll certainly help, that's for sure. Let's take a look at this perfect shot here. I tell you what, ball far out onto the lane. Good power, a great stroke. Going down, 10 pins in the pit. Eddie Hamlin going high on the right-hand lane, leaving a split. Very difficult shot to bring back, if not impossible, Todd.
So things could even up here quickly.
Well, that's the way this game is. You never, ever want to give up. You never know when your opponent may stumble. You throw 3 or 4 in a row and get right back in the match. Ed will shoot cross lane, take out the 6 and the 10 for pin count.
And he's open in the second. You and I were talking before the show, really in bowling, it's not how high your score is that really counts, it's the differential. You've got to win. Sometimes the lanes are going to give you good rolls, sometimes not.
Match play competition, the name of the game here on Sundays. It's not how high the score is, it's who wins.
And he's got him.
Oh, great. Ball going a hair high, but tripping out the 4-pin. As we can see here on the replay, excellent shot. Ball will go a hair high, the head pin, center your screen, will go to the wall, come back, hit the 5-pin, and catch the 4 in the back. Excellent shot.
And there's your score.
28, second for Hamlin. Lee has the opportunity to go to 39 to gain a 11-pin edge if he strikes here.
And he's light.
Going light again. Todd, to set up the match, often 2 lanes will differ. Even if it's a subtle difference, the players have to be able to pick it up, make the according adjustments. Obviously, Lee has not been able to do that yet. Should bring this spare back. It does have a sleeper. It is difficult to bring back, but if you hit the front pin, the 2-pin, straight on, it should carry through and get the 8.
And he cleans him out.
It's about as perfect as you can make it. What we have right now is a 1-pin advantage going to Lee. The count in the open frame in the second hurt Eddie. But we've got a match. He has the advantage of a strikeout.
And Lee likes this left lane.
Both bowlers seem to like the left lane right now. Let's see if he can capitalize on it once more.
Nope.
Leaving the 2-4-5, a very common leave in the game of bowling. To make this, you have to hit the 2-pin just to the right. The 2 will go through, take out the 4, and the ball should take out the 5. If you don't flatten the ball out, you stand a chance to chop it. Look out.
Nope.
It's exactly what you have.
Leaves the 5-pin.
Exactly what you have to look out for, Todd. We're going to see it here on the replay. The ball will cut through. Now here, if he'd have flattened the ball out and sent it a little more to the right, he'd be okay. But the ball is going to cut right straight through, leaving the 5-pin.
Ed Hamlin, and he gets them all.
Going to capitalize on that open frame every time, Todd. The better bowler, when seeing his opponent stumble, will pick it up and take it right to the heart. Excellent shot by Eddie Hamlin on the right lane.
When you talk about competition, that's like going for the juggler.
You got it. Try to finish him off early.
That big brace there on Ed Hamlin's right wrist.
Got the ball down way short.
A lot of rotation, but leaves a couple.
Did you notice you barely heard the ball hit the lane at all, Todd? Now, he normally does get the ball down shorter than Lee, but that was way too short. Taking the roll off, the ball was not going to come up, and even if it had, the chances are he'd have left a weak 10-pin or something.
He's got to pick up the 2-8 now.
Should be all right.
Gets them both. You mentioned that Ed does not extend himself as much as Lee.
Well, I mentioned bulky before, not in any negative manner towards Ed, but he is a bigger man. He's put together, he's quite muscular, and those muscles just aren't quite as loose and limber as a fellow like Lee, and he can't extend quite as much. Much stronger, but not quite as free.
And Estill puts him down on that right lane that he's had trouble with.
Going to check it on the replay here. Excellent shot. Ball well out on the lane, coming down the ball, finishing strongly. 10 pins in the pit, everything doing its job. Lee has an opportunity to get right back in this match with a strike right here. Trailing by 11, 12 pins, 21 pins right now. Could cut it to 11 right here. Oh, great. Head pin doing its job again, Todd. Excellent shot. Let's pick it up here. The head pin, center of your screen, is going to go to the wall, come back and trip the forepin right out behind the back.
Lee really kicks that left foot up, doesn't he? And another solid one for Ed Hamlin.
We've got a match here, Todd.
These guys are loose and rolling through 6.
6 frames, things are loosening up quite a bit. At this point in the match, we have an 11-pin game right now. The advantage going to Eddie Hamlin. .96 in the 5th, potential 85 in the 5th for Lee. Ed Hamlin, left lane, would like to get this one right here.
Heavy, and he leaves himself a split.
Oh, disastrous place for that shot, Todd. Anything you don't want to do is leave your opponent up right now. He got that ball in early. Ball took off on him, hooked right up through the head pin, taking the head pin straight back, leaving the 4, the 7, and the 10. Very difficult spare to make. Ed's going to shoot for it. You can bet on it.
And he's going to get 1.
This match is coming right down to the wire.
And Lee Estill is working on 2 strikes.
Definitely the advantage to Lee right now. Could take the lead with this shot right here. Looks good.
Got them all.
Excellent shot.
10 in the pit.
Todd Lee's answering the call right here, as we're going to see on the replay. Check out his footwork. Excellent footwork. He's a well-studied player. Nice methodical heel-toe action. Deep knee bend right at the point of release and then raising up. Maximum power through the pocket. 10 in the pit. Lee's excited.
5-step approach.
Even though he doesn't look it, Lee's excited, I can guarantee you. He now has a 1-pin advantage. Could stretch it out to 11 with this one right here. Looks good.
Got them all. 10 in the pit once again for Lee Estill. Dave, time to mention right now, Ken Ripperger, Don Wickersham, and Roy Nixon from Hootapole Brewery here today.
As always, Ed Hamlin's job right now. He has to get striking, and it's got to be now. He answers the call, Todd. Let's check it on the replay here. He gets the ball down a little short again, but his excellent muscle power brings the ball swirling back, head pin going to the wall, coming off, doing its job. Right now, Eddie Hamlin has to keep striking to keep the pressure on Lee Estill.
And you did see the smile on Hamlin's face after getting that strike.
Well, he got the ball down short, and he knew it. This is a much better shot, and he loses the hit. The screaming 10 that we always talk about, Todd. He actually paid the penalty for throwing a better shot that frame than the frame before. He desperately needed that one to put any kind of pressure on Lee at all. With a spare here, all Lee has to do is mark out the rest of the game, and he's in good shape.
DelFair Lanes would like to mention the following: 15th Annual Thule Classic, March 3rd, 1984. It's a one-day tournament. Squad times are noon and 3 p.m. $1,000. First place, entry fee $20. You're at DelFair on March 3rd.
A 32-pin advantage to Lee Estill right now. If he just keeps it clean the rest of the game, he has a winner. It's in the area.
Leaves the 10.
A little more speed, a little more loft, and a little less roll creates a weak 10 that time. Contrasting to Eddie Hamlin's ringing 10, the 6-pin did not do its job, creating that result, that nasty little 10-pin in a corner. Lee should shoot it cross lane. Have no problem with it normally.
Whoa. Now that's walking a tightrope.
It certainly is.
There's a sigh of relief.
He has a 22-pin lead going into the 10th frame. The only way Ed Hamlin can win is to strike out in the 10th, and only if Lee opens once more. Lee knows he can close it out right here. His fate's in his hands.
And he's light.
Don't go away. That's the great thing about this game, Todd. You never want to wish ill on anyone, but so many things can happen. Difficult spare, the war shout. 1, 2, 4, 10. Very difficult to make. You have to go Brooklyn, let the ball carry them through, get the 2 and the 4, and throw the head pin over into the 10. Requires a lot of accuracy, a delicate shot. Let's see how Lee handles it. Nope.
Only gets 2.
As you're going to see here on the replay, Lee did not get the ball far enough to the left, taking the head pin straight back rather than throwing it over to the right. Ed Hamlin now can take this game all the way to the wall and win it.
And
there's the first one.
Strike.
Oh, there we go.
Lee finished with a 188.
Like I said at the beginning of the show, Todd, it's not the score, it's the amount of competition. Now, the whole first game comes down to this shot right here. Ed Hamlin can win it. Has a potential 192, but he can't get there unless he gets this shot. This is it.
And he's got it.
Great come from behind. Now, all Ed has to do is keep the ball safely on the lane, come up with a any kind of a count here, and he'll be okay. 188 to finish. He already has 182. Needs at least 7 pins. 7 pins to win. Got it.
A little heavy, but nonetheless 8 pins. And he is the winner of our first game, 190 to 188 over Lee Estill. And Ed Hamlin will now advance to game 2 to play Don Scudder, and we'll have that next on the BPA King of Bowling.
This small drop of liquid is a dedicated brewmaster's work of art. It reflects a fine select beer brewed with the care, patience, and pride only a small brewery can provide. Longer brewing time and dedication to excellence mean Christian Moorline may cost a little more, but the price is small for the unique experience of Christian Moorline. Christian Moorline, quite simply, a better beer.
Over the last several weeks, qualifying has been held at about several locations around the greater Cincinnati area. The 2 top lady qualifiers are Jennifer Hoinke, Regina Pollard. 2 weeks ago, Loveland Lanes, this young lass, 18 years old, won the roll-off, Loveland Lanes. Jen, you've been bowling quite well recently. You've been studying the game for months and months and months, and it's all starting to pay off. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels real good. I've been practicing a lot and really trying to get it together. I finally got my equipment real together. I just bought several new bowling balls. Generally just trying to get my game together. It feels good and it's really coming together.
Approximately how many games a week do you feel you're bowling right now?
Oh, I bowl twice in a league, and I usually average maybe 6 games practice a week.
Well, it's really paying off. You look super out there. Virginia, last week here at DelFair Lanes, you were the top lady qualifier, shooting .659. excellent scores. The men were bowling well, and so were you. The condition was very playable, and you looked great. What do you feel you owe your success to last week?
Well, I was really relaxed when I threw the ball, and I slowed my approach down a little bit and got my timing together, and I just felt really great.
Well, you've been quite a credit to the Pollard family throughout the years, shooting some super scores. Congratulations. Excellent shooting to all the ladies. Todd, back to you.
And those two lovely young ladies received checks of $200. Talk about Beauty and the Beast, huh? They're the beauties. Are you the beast?
Thanks a lot, Todd.
Getting ready for game number 2. Here's Don Scudder. He'll be facing Ed Hamlin.
Don Scudder is probably one of the most successful amateur bowlers in our area. Excellent game, well practiced, super position at the foul line. Don Scudder will be playing one of the most difficult lines we know, the first board. Requires one heck of a lot of concentration.
Leaves the 10. Like you say with Scudder playing that first board, he walks the line of disaster with every roll.
It appears that way, Tom, but to a well-schooled player like Don Scudder, he's played out there many, many times. He's won several titles from the ditch, and we're seeing probably one of the best ditch players around.
He's 32 years old, started bowling at age 7. He bowls between 20 and 100 games a week. So like you say, he is experienced. And starts off with a spare in game number 2.
First shot was a bit tentative. He didn't roll the ball quite as well as he is capable. But now we're going to watch this man, the clutch shooter, Ed Hamlin, pulling it out in the 10th frame, game 1 of our new season, not taking too much time.
And picks up where he left off. He's good and loose right now.
You bet he is. As we can see here on the replay, really getting down through the shot with authority, going through the ball. The ball's revving up nicely, a little high into the pocket, but the head pin coming off the wall and doing the damage on the 4-pin. Ed Hamlin is hot.
And if you think it's too late to start bowling, Ed started bowling at age 18. That's only 9 years bowling, and look at, well,
disastrous.
I don't want to say look at that.
One of the shots, we called it last game a couple of times. He got the ball down short. Now, what I mean by short is his thumb comes out of the ball too soon. In other words, it slipped out, as we can see here on the replay. Now watch it. Just losing the ball completely, never having a chance to apply any spin to let it hook back, cutting through, taking out just a few of the pins. Has a spare here that,
and he's light again,
is potentially dangerous.
So Hamlin is open in the 2nd.
About the only thing that keeps that from being just an utter disaster is the fact that he was on a strike. He does not lose the count from the first ball. It's still an open, and an open against Don Scudder may be hazardous to your health.
Look at him way over there on that right side. And like you say, when a guy opens up, his opponent is out to strike.
Don Scudder, probably one of the best match play bowlers in the city, as we see here by Don Scudder's footwork. Well schooled, excellent position at the foul line. Watch this reaction. He likes it. 10 pins in the pit.
Look how close these guys all get to that foul line. It's a lot like a long jumper.
It is.
Hitting that foul line. You don't want to overshoot. You don't want to undershoot. The good ones hit it right every time.
Exactly. Don's made several million trips to the foul line in his years of bowling. He knows the way to the foul line, and his ball knows the way to the pocket.
Like that. Like 10 solid pins in the pit.
We can see. Take a look at it here on the replay, Todd. Laying it down on the first board, hitting the 2nd board at the arrows, angling in the pins. Just, they've got nowhere to go. Score, as you can see it right now, 26 for Eddie in the 2nd. He's got to get going on his favorite lane. Yeah, he likes the right lane. He's locked in. He looks good and loose.
We're here at DelFair Lanes. Just to remind people, Dave, proprietor is Pat Wynn and general manager Bruce Reibel.
Got a lot of good people here at DelFair, as in all our BPA establishments around the city. Really make you feel welcome.
Leaves the 10. You know, you mentioned this establishment here. They've got those automatic scores.
Technology coming around. It's in our homes. It's in the bowling establishments. It's here at DelFair Lanes, and several of the bowling proprietors have it throughout the city. It's a great system. Look out. Ooh. Eddie's getting that ball down too short. Let's take a look at it here on the replay. At the bottom of the swing, he's just going to lose it. The ball never having a chance to bite the lane and the hook back, missing the 10-pin by just a hair. Don Scudder, even though it's early in the match, has the potential to put Ed not away, but put him back in the pack.
Going for 3 strikes in a row, and he's got it.
They will not come any tougher than Don Scudder off the ditch. Here we can see him here. Low position at the foul line. Sneaks up on him. Maximum position through the ball. Look at that ball. No deflection whatsoever. Going through the pocket.
And there's your score.
Don Scudder with 50 in the second. Eddie with 26. Another open in the fourth. A triple working for Don. He has this match well in hand already. A 50 pin or more advantage.
Potentially he can turn the lights out early. He's been the king 10 times on the King of Bowling.
Another good shot.
Leaves the 10.
Yeah, he's a little disgusted there with his release, even though his position and arm swing were good. He did not apply the good roll on the ball, which is going to get the 10 pin out. The edge shot, as you can see, is your percentage shot to hit the pocket and to carry if you roll the ball. But that 6 pin, Don says,
And we talk about the experience of Don Scudder. 5 sanctioned 300 games, 7 299s, and an 834 series.
Not making the same mistake Ed Hamlin did by shooting that. He has a 99 in the
fourth frame
there to 54. Ed must get started. If he wants any chance at all to win, he's got to throw X's from here on out.
Leaves the 10.
Another weak shot. All of a sudden, Ed is becoming tentative. It looks like he doesn't quite have a good feel on the ball at all, as we can see here. Now watch it. Gets out of the ball. He's not really rolling it cleanly. He's not sure if it's going to hit right or not. The 6 pin, the second one from the edge of your screen, goes into the channel and dies.
This time he picks up the 10 pin.
Feel with your equipment is probably one of the most important things to the better bowler, Todd. If you don't have a good grip on it, you can't feel it. 99 in the fourth for Don Scudder, 54 for Ed Hamlin. Both spares up in the 5th frame. Eddie has to get on the strike train right now.
Time to mention that the BPA All-Star Travel League today, girls at the Super Bowl, boys at Northwest. And there's the strike train.
He better add a few cars to it from here on out. As we can see here on the replay, Todd, he throws this ball as well as you possibly can. Getting through it with some authority, the ball revving up, going through the pocket, no deflection, no skid, 10 pins in the pit. Don Scudder on the right lane, hitting the pocket every shot so far.
Got it again.
Oh, great action on the 6 pin. You know you're throwing the ball right when the 6 pin jumps out of the gutter and knocks over the 10, as we can see here on the replay. Everyone keep your eyes on the 6 pin. The second one from the right edge of your screen will go to the gutter, come out, right there, go to the gutter, come out, slap the 10 pin with the belly. Away she goes. Don Scudder's rolling the ball well.
Most times when that happens to the average bowler, that 6 pin just gets trapped in that channel and can't come back out.
Don Scudder at this point has a 45 pin advantage. Both bowlers strikes up. Don Scudder has the hammer and he goes high.
He's heavy.
Really slowed up on that shot, Todd. I don't know what was going through his mind, but he threw that ball exceptionally slow, hooked early, going through the heart of the pins, leaving a next to impossible spare, a 4, 6, 10.
That's the only time he's missed the pocket today.
So far, he'll shoot cross lane, try to take out the 6 and the 10. He's on a strike. The pin count will help him.
Ooh.
He was going for it.
He gave it a good run.
That's two for sure and maybe 3.
That's a safe way of going after it.
That's right. Here you're going to see the 6 pin slide right over, right back of the 4 pin, just missing it there by about 3 or 4 inches.
You know, they talk about certain sports being a game of inches. How about this one?
This is a game of fractions of inches.
You'd have to go You'd have to go to the metric system to describe this game. It's a game of millimeters.
Right. Ed Hamlin with a chance to get back in the match. Crucial strike. Could not physically throw the ball any better. The ball just finishing a hair too hard, cutting through, missing the 9 pin. Tough break for Eddie Hamlin.
Picks up the spare.
Little dejected look on his face there, Todd. If there's one thing in this game that's more disheartening than anything else, is to throw a good shot and to not capitalize.
And he could have picked up a lot of ground there with a strike.
He could have picked up a lot of ground, is right. As it is, he did pick up a few, but strikes is the name of the game. He goes wide again on the right lane.
Misses the pocket. Leaves
lane.
the 1-2-4.
He's having a little trouble. He's getting to the line a hair quicker now. He's starting to press, getting the ball down short. He is down 36 pins, 3 frames to go. It's not out of the question, but it is definitely going to be tough, and he has to have a spare.
And he picks the spare up.
Look at him say, I don't know what to do.
What are your suggestions for bowlers when they get down on themselves like that? How do you relax yourself to come back?
It's tough, especially on television, Todd. The thing Eddie should be doing right now is trying to get his ball feeling a little more comfortable on his hand. It looks like it's not quite right. Don Scudder is not going to wait around for Ed Hamlin anymore.
He's hot.
Okay, we're going to watch the first board being labeled right here with the ball. Second board actually. Excellent follow through. Good roll on the ball. Watch this ball go through the pins. No deflection. Every pin just looking around for something else to knock down.
He could have had 20 pins up there that time and knocked them all down.
You bet. Don Scudder can put this match away with this strike right here.
And he's got it.
The big shot, the one that put it away, take all the pressure off in the 10th frame right here. Don Scudder throws the best shot of the match.
Ed Hamlin with a strike. In the 9th.
Ed Hamlin could strike out at this point. He could finish with a respectable game of 191. However, without throwing another ball, Don Scudder already has 187, and he does not even need a mark in the 10th frame. As you see the scoreboard there.
Well, Ed Hamlin came from far behind in that first game. I'm sure he hasn't given up. Boy, he hit that one awfully high.
Well, Ed, you know, it's nice to keep trying 100%, but when you know no matter what happens, you can't win, your attitude has a tendency to go down, and in match play competition, that's understandable. But you league bowlers in tournaments or in your league, never give up. Try to get every pin you can, because you never know when you might need it. In this game, the man that gave us a brilliant, exciting finish in the first game is going to go down to defeat this game, having a little trouble holding on to the ball. We'll finish out with a 171.
He stumbled early. 2nd and 4th frames were open.
Never could get it started. The crucial shot was in the 7th frame where he could have an opportunity to build a string. Lost the 10 pin, and you could almost see his attitude go down the tubes right there. Don Scudder will finish out here with any kind of a mark. No problem. He is the winner.
The way Scudder has been bowling in this game, it really doesn't matter how much better the other bowler is going. He has been hot.
Well, he's been in the pocket every time, but I'll tell you, he's a little lackadaisical on a few shots, Todd, with his release. That's the shot where he leaves that weak 10. Now, the next man he's coming up against, Tim Weisbrod, is not relaxed. He is not going to take it easy. He's out there giving 110% every shot. I think we're going to have another barn burner the third game.
Weisbrod was intense in the warm-ups. He doesn't relax.
Never. He's here for one purpose today, and that's to win. Tim Weisbrod was our king coming into the very first week last year, was defeated at Kingpin Lanes. He told me today he's going to change that around, hopefully with a big game, 240 or 50. Don Scudder finishing out with a 216 to a 171, the winner this game, Todd.
So Don Scudder will advance to our championship game. And Scudder will face our king, Tim Weisbrod, after this on the BPA King of Bowling.
The special appeal of Hudi Delight is that it's a real beer, brewed like a real beer, fermented longer like a real beer, with a real beer flavor. The bonus is that it's light and has a third less calories. Make sure you give yourself the pleasure of a light beer that really tastes like a beer. And smile, it's a delight. Hudi Delight, from the family of better beers.
The better beers are beautiful, beautiful.
2 weeks ago at Hydes Lanes during qualifying round, this young man, Tim Weisbrod, shot a 798 series. One of the games he rolled that day was a perfect 300 game. On behalf of the Greater Cincinnati Bowling Proprietors Association, we'd like to present Tim with his beautiful 300 ring. Tim, congratulations. Super. How did it feel on that 12th shot?
Oh, I've been waiting a long time for one of these rings, and it was just a super feeling. I couldn't describe it. It was just a super feeling.
Well, I've been there once or twice myself, and I know it's great. Hey, Tim, good luck to you in the upcoming match. Good luck.
And there's a look at some of the crowd here at DelFair Lanes. In that crowd, Sam Coleman, Bo Hudipole from the BPA, Tom Murphy from Stones Lanes, Tom Gray, Losanaville, Bill Seibel, who's keeping our score today from Durban, and Don Hyde from Hydes Lanes. Here's Weisbrod, our king.
Tim Weisbrod, probably one of the most unorthodox players. Watch the stiff-legged left leg here at the foul line. He actually locks it as he comes through, very erect, high back kick with his right foot, but so effective. Tim Weisbrod, one of the more underrated players in the city, will be tough today.
And he starts the right way.
Sure is nice of him to cooperate with my prediction. I honestly think we're going to see some higher scores this game time. These two players, experienced in match play competition, between them they have probably 35 to 40 titles. This man, Don Scudder, put away Eddie Hamlin last game, knows that this game is not going to be any picnic.
We're going to have some scoring in this championship game.
I do believe we can just sit back and watch this one. Don Scudder playing the edge again, on the edge of disaster, but on the brink of success. He is going to throw this ball with perfection. Arm swing, look at it, going right towards the target. Good roll on the ball, perfectly in the 1-3, every pin in the pits.
Dave, qualifying today being conducted at Brentwood Bowl. That's where we will be next week. Final shift, 4 o'clock today, so if you want to try to qualify for next week's King of Bowling show, get on over to Brentwood Bowl this afternoon.
You want to come on out? Going to go out and bowl a shift.
My average is not what Don Scudder's is, certainly, and that's what you have to do to get on this show.
Excellent shot. Watch the reaction of Don Scudder here. Unlike the last match where there was no reaction, watch him now. He knows it's good. He's going to run this one out. Look at the intensity in his face. Yeah! He knows it's a big double to start with against this man, Tim Weisbrod. The intensity in his eyes is obvious.
He starts with a double.
A hacksaw strike. This man is intense.
We talked about qualifying. We talked about qualifying. Terry George with a 671, Len Gray with a 658, and Darrell Lips 652 are the top qualifiers so far.
What an extension. Look at a 5-pin. Center of your screen, just ripped out of there into the 7-pin. Nothing had a chance. Excellently thrown ball. Tim Weisbrod throwing one of the new urethane construction balls. Left lane. double up both players. Advantage could go to Weisbrod with this strike.
And he's got it. Starts with a triple.
Yeah, look at it. Oh, he's ready. He's ready. I love it.
He was like that in warm-ups today.
Yes, he was. Look at the eyes, the intensity. The head pin, center your screen, will go to the sideboard, come off, kick out, not only the 7-pin, but the 4-pin. Yeah, he likes it.
Nothing but solid strikes in this game so far from both bowlers.
And it might not stop.
It doesn't.
Look at it. Both players are dancing now, Todd. This is what the game is all about. Intensity, execution, perfection. Both players perfect through 3, as we're going to watch Scudder. Scudder from the gutter. Excellently played shot. Super. 3 strikes. Don Scudder will not quit. He will not loosen up.
And each time one of these guys rolls a strike, they put that much pressure on the other guy.
It's what it's like. It's like trying to hit a passing shot in tennis. Each guy is just going for it every shot. Let's see what happens here.
Leaves the 10.
A little wide. The ball stayed out along the edge about maybe a foot or two too long, creating a different angle entering the pocket. The 6-pin did not do its job that time. At this point, the match is tied up, but Tim Weisbrod has the advantage of striking in the next frame to go up. Now, we saw some intensity last frame. Tim Weisbrod putting the pressure on Don, Don leaving a pin. Tim knows that this next shot here will give him the lead.
Weisbrod, 22 years old. He has a .210 bowling average. And he starts with 4 strikes.
Little hand slap there, walking away. Let's watch his reaction. Let's watch the ball. Great backswing, super execution through the shot. Watch the ball enter the 1-3 pins here. Gives it a little bit of yeah. He knows he put it right back on Scudder. One more shot would make the pressure that much more. Left lane. The Tim Weisbrod has been perfect. Not perfect anymore.
Little heavy on the head pin.
Quite a bit heavy, Todd, I tell you. It looks like he'd like...
I'm trying to be kind.
Not one of my traits. Tim Weisbrod eased up. Not quite the authority he's had on the other 4 frames where he was solid. Going a little slower will cause the ball to hook a little bit more. He'll take 2 pins here and hope that Scudder falters somewhere throughout the game.
So we're midway through this championship game. What the heck, it's afternoon. Let's call this a beer frame. Go grab a hootie out of the refrigerator, and we'll be back on the BPA King of Bowling for the final of this championship game.
Laundry's done. Let's go for coffee. Oh, we always do that. Hey, let's go bowling. Why don't we do something different today?
As long as it's not fattening.
Hey, let's go bowling.
Joyce, now that you're single, you've got to get out and meet people.
Got any ideas?
Hey, let's go bowling! All over America, people are saying,
Hey, let's go bowling.
Call your nearest BPA bowling center for open playtime.
Many people would say it's impossible to improve on a Hudie, but we've done just that. With carefully selected grains and special aromatic hops. The result? Better flavor and a smoother, richer, more satisfying beer. We call it Hudie Gold. No other beer in America is brewed with more expert personal care. Try the new golden taste of Hudie Gold.
The better beers are beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, we're going to rejoin the match here. Don Scudder is going to be on the right lane. 115 for Tim Weisbrod in the 5th. Don Scudder has a potential here to go at least 4 pins up, and with a double, possibly 15, 20 pins. Who knows? Let's see what happens. It's there.
Got it.
Excellent reaction on the 6-pin again. The good roll, the excellent execution has given Don Scudder a 4-pin advantage, potentially 14. There he is again. Good follow through, excellent roll. The ball turning over nicely for Don. A little deflection there at the pocket, causing the 6-pin to go to the board rather than to take out the 10 flush. No problem. Don Scudder has the situation in hand as long as he keeps his nose clean. Has a 4-pin advantage at this point, the potential to go to 14 pins with this strike. He's high.
But he's lucky that 10-pin dropped, or he would have had a split. I think he feels good about that.
Well, that's mixed. That's what you call mixed emotions. He's glad he broke down the split, but disappointed he threw the ball poorly. He allowed the ball to go high on the head pin, as you said, almost leaving a very difficult split. This is a fairly easy spare for the better bowlers. He should wind up with a spare and a 4-pin advantage. But Tim Weisbrod has the opportunity to throw a strike next frame and get those pins back.
Well, Scudder has marked in every frame so far through 6. 4 strikes, 2 spares.
This man is down 6 pins at this time. Has the chance to get him back if he strikes here. Looks good. The ball going just a little longer than anticipated, leaving the weak 10-pin almost a 7-pin. Now let's watch this here on the replay, Todd. Tim Weisbrod is going to throw what appears to be a good shot, but the 7-pin, the one to the extreme left of your lane, you'll watch will be the last pin to go down. Just catching it out there with the 5-pin. That means the ball deflected into the pocket. He lost a little bit of roll.
And just kicks out the 10-pin.
Tim Weisbrod, unlike a lot of the better players, does not flatten the ball out to shoot his 10-pin. As we see it here, we're going to have 115 to 119, a 4-pin advantage going to Don Scudder. Both players with a spare up in the 6th frame. This game is going to go right down to the wire. You can bet on it.
Just the way we wanted to start off here on our first King of Bowling show.
Well, we ended the season last year, Todd, with a barn burner, a 1-pin win by Rick Hensley to become our king for the year. Excellent shot by Tim Weisbrod, not getting the desired result. Ringing 10.
Might add, Dave, that qualifying next Saturday and Sunday at Super Bowl.
Down around my neck of the woods.
Starts at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Check out Tim Weisbrod's footwork again. Heel toe, good execution. 6-pin going right around the 10-pin. Covering the spare. Trailing by 4 pins, potentially 5 if he strikes, potentially 15. Don Scudder knows that he's up. He can finish it if he strikes all the way out. Tim Weisbrod couldn't do a thing about it, but he's got to get there.
10 in the pit.
That was only perfect. Let's watch an only perfect shot, Todd. Just another ho-hum perfect strike by Don Scudder.
And he's had a bunch of them today.
He's had a bunch of them. He's used to it. Well-schooled, practices a lot, used to match play competition. A 5-pin advantage at this point with a strike up becomes 15, potentially 25 pins if he comes up with this one. It's a big shot for Don. Answers the call once more. How do you like this intensity, Todd?
Both of these bowlers very intense.
Don Scudder knows he threw it well. He'll give it a little body English help here. Say, get in there. Yeah!
That right hand whipped right around his neck.
Here you can see him trying to get his thoughts together for next frame as Tim Weisbrod throws on the right lane. And he threw a horrible shot. Just
hit the other side.
Oh, that was
he knew it from the time it left.
Very rarely will you see a good bowler throw a shot that bad unless he loses his footing, sticks somewhere, or just has a blatant mental error. That was a going away Brooklyn, leaving the 5 and the 9 This is typically a fairly easy spare, but you can chop the 5 off the 9 if you hook it. Look out, look out.
Ooh. Just slid the 9 over.
It's actually took the 5 straight back, Todd, and just the dust on the ball knocked the 9 pin down. Let's watch it here. Now, he should have flattened it out. Now, right here, he knows he's in trouble. The ball starts to hook off. Now, watch it here. Cleanly going to take off the 5 pin. Oh, you're right. It was a 5 pin that just kissed it. Tim has no options available to him right now other than to strike in the 9th, the 10th, 11th. Put any kind of pressure on Don Scudder at all.
He's struggling now.
Yeah, he is. He is. The mental game is just deteriorated for 2 shots in a row. Tim knows that he has to throw strikes. He threw another bad shot the exact opposite way. He topped the ball, not allowing it to hook up. They must spare. Without this spare, the match is over.
Will the 10 go? No. There's your score in the 9th.
Let's take a look at it here. We've got 177. Don Scudder does not even have to mark to win this match in either frame, but being the competitor he is, he just want to solidify things here. I'm sure this next ball is going to be flush. It is.
This is his day.
Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Dandy Dave, is that what we're going to call you?
Here it is, the
Dave-a-roo.
The coup de grace, the finishing stroke. 10 in the pit. Don Scudder will be our first champion of 1984, bringing his King title into Brentwood Lanes next week. That man, Tim Weisbrod, dejected.
Time to mention right now the Women's City Tournament will be at Kingpin Lanes on March 10th and 11th, 17th and 18th. Entries close this Tuesday, though, January 31st, so call bowling headquarters for details. 531-8790 and a 10-pin for Don Scudder.
Tim Weisbrod can finish out with a 207, a very respectable game, but in match play competition against this tough competitor, Don Scudder, 2-0 is not going to win you too many matches.
Scudder 216 in his first game today.
He will have, with a spare here, 230 something. Strikeout will give him 238. A very respectable game.
Don Scudder's a real dancer, isn't he, after he drops those pins?
Well, he and I have bowled together and against each other for a lot of years, and if there's one guy that can outdance me, it's Don Scudder. He's got a vicious right hook. And I don't mean his bowling ball. Nice round of applause for Don Scudder, finishing out with a super game.
236.
Tim Weisbrod will just finish out the game here, hopefully shooting 2-0. Hold it again. Spare and a strike will give him 197. Again, not a bad game, but on BPA, King of TV Bowling, 190 is not going to win too often. We have a prime selection of players in the greater Cincinnati area. One that will contend with players anywhere in the city, Todd, or anywhere in the country. I've been around, and we've got some tough ones here. Tim Weisbrod, you can bet, will be back.
Well, again, he's just overshooting the pocket. And Tim finishes with 197. So that's our championship game. And our new king is Don Scudder, winning with a 236 to 197 score. We'll be back with the check presentations after this.
Bowling for excitement, bowling just for fun. Bowling for the action when the weekend comes. Shake 'em up, shake 'em up. It's the weekend blast when the lanes are fast. Shake 'em up. We're bowling after dinner, putting on a show. Everyone's a winner, man, you gotta go. Shake 'em up, shake 'em up. Do it day or night, bowling's out of sight. Shake 'em up.
Call your nearest BPA Bowling Center for open playtime.
At Hudipole, we have made a commitment. We are and will continue to be traditional brewers, first and last. To provide you with the finest possible beer, we're taking more time. We're using better ingredients and traditional methods of brewing to give those of you who know enough and care enough a family of better quality, better tasting beers. Hudipole.
The better beers are beautiful.
Time now to hand out some cash. Dave Newrath, you've got 3 checks there in your hand.
One of the most pleasurable things I do, Todd. 4th position, Lee Estill, going down to feet today, $150. Congratulations, Lee. Ed, you provided us with one of the most exciting finishes we've had for quite a while here on King of Bowling, $225 for the 3rd place position. And Tim, tough break there that last game. I know you were pretty intense and you obviously wanted it. $375 for finishing 2nd, and you'll be back, I'm sure.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Todd?
Yeah, and I've got the big check to hand out here to our new king, Don Scudder, $750. Congratulations, Don.
Appreciate it. I just want to say this game with Tim, it was just a matter of my carrying the brakes, and at an opportune time in the 3rd frame I caught a wall shaker, and and I punched the nose on the one shot, and he caught a split when he punched the nose. I feel he bowled just as good a game as I did. It's just a matter of being at the opportune time.
236 in the final game for Don Scudder. And we'll see you next week at Brentwood Lanes, and we hope to see you next week at Brentwood Lanes here on the BPA King of Bowling.
BPA King of Bowling. Brought to you by the Hudipole Brewing Company.